Don't forget to join the throne. Welcome to the empire. Yep, that sounded cooler in my head. Today we're going to be talking about why do artists quit before they get started. As a creator, there's a bit of pride that you take in your work. There's a great feeling that you get when you start from nothing, a blank piece of paper, and you turn it into your version of a masterpiece. In everyone's eyes, a masterpiece is different. You might not appreciate it like, others do, but this is your work. This is something that you spent hours and sometimes days and weeks on. So why would you run away from that feeling and that grind before you hit your level of success as a creator? And don't forget, whether you're here or not, we believe in your skills and capabilities. That's why we make these videos, because we know how hard it can be and how sometimes just having one person in your corner makes the biggest difference. So quitting before you get started. One of the first reasons why people give up on their journey is a lack of focus. When things get hard, they don't have the mindset instead of just the eyesight. Understand that what you think about yourself, the things that you imagine in your life, will help determine the direction of what happens. A perfect example, right now in your life, your bank account might not reflect what you believe it should. In your mind, you have millions. But what happens is you have to stay the course. You have to keep imagining the life that you want to have in order to get to your millions. There are going to be things that you have to do. The next issue that people have is something called fear, or just being afraid of what's in front of them. Walking in a door, not knowing what's behind it, can give people anxiety, fear, and it can be a little traumatic. But that's what life is. There's a lot of doors in front of you that you don't truly know what's on the other side. Sometimes failing will help you get to the place you need to get to quicker while also maintaining that place. If you got the opportunity to play in the NBA right now, most people wouldn't have the ability to maintain it. You might get the contract, but you might not be able to live up to the contract. But let's say you had time to practice, get really good, understand and learn plays. Now you're more equipped versus someone just coming in front of you and trying to give you a contract to play in the NBA. Now, I'm not saying everyone can play in the NBA, but we're saying being better equipped to do something makes it a lot easier. Being afraid. The man who lets their fear get in front of them has already failed. The next thing that can really get in front of you is listening to others. When you listen to the wrong words, it can take you in the wrong direction. When you listen to the right words, it can take you in the right direction. So the thing is, listening to the wrong person is just as devastating, because you know what eventually happens? It convinces you of a lie. A lie is only a lie when you believe it. The truth is only the truth when you believe it. If someone says you can and someone says you can't, the person you believe becomes your reality.
Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
It's not to say that you can't do or be around certain people, but it is to say not everyone needs to hold your attention at specific times. If you have someone who is more critical of what you want to accomplish at certain times in your life, maybe you don't need to speak to them about that subject, because you already know the direction of the conversation it can go in. And it's not saying that they don't love you or they don't have your best interests at heart, but sometimes people put their fear on you, and now their fear becomes your fear. The next issue that happens to a lot of people is not being patient. It's easy to quit something when you don't have the patience to get through it. If most of us had an easy button just to get the life we wanted, almost everybody would press it. And why wouldn't you? It's the easy button. Just click on it. It's like clicking that like button below. So if you can click the easy button, you should definitely click that like button. But the reason why we'll do it is because we're impatient. We don't want to go on the grind or the journey that it takes. And that's why they say the top is lonely and the bottom is so crowded, because so many people is so impatient that they won't go through the journey to get where they want to get. If you think about it, more people will quit what they want to do than people even on the journey to get there. Not just the people who successfully get there. There's so many stories of actors who made it big in their 40s and 50s that we love to this day. You done seen a couple of them, and I might put a picture here or there. So if I did, that's amazing. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I don't know how you'd have felt about me putting your picture up, Maybe you wanted people to think you were successful at a younger age. Or maybe I didn't know who you were. So one of those two, I guess. The fifth thing that gets in a lot of people's way is not willing to fail. Now, we kind of spoke about this earlier with fear, but this is slightly different. Being a little afraid or being a little hesitant to fail is one thing, but not willing to fail is the complete opposite. When you say I'm not willing, that means I will not let it happen. And for the most part, when people not let something happen, they walk away from it. I don't like something, so let me quit. This doesn't look right, so let me not do it. When you're not willing to fail, you make it apparent to yourself that it's not worth doing. If I don't believe I can be amazing at something, why try? I do not see myself as a world-class tennis player. So you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to practice to be a world-class tennis player. I do not have the desire in my heart, as cool as tennis is, and that's not something I want to personally do. So in my life, it's not important enough for me to do it. But for you, if you want to be a world-class tennis player, go do that. That's something that's in your heart that you should pursue if you love it. But for others, they're not willing to fail at it because it's not something that's near and dear to them. But let's say you want to be a world-class tennis player, but then you are so not willing to fail that you walk away. That's when we have a problem. You need to be okay with failure to really be okay with success. Because as you fall, you learn how to get back up. Could you imagine being that world-class tennis player and never taking a loss? And then that one day comes where you lose? You will never know how to bounce back. It might be so difficult for you that you might quit at that very moment. Sometimes making things too easy can make it a lot harder when something changes. So I want you to understand that life has its ups and downs, but there are certain things that you can personally do to make it a little better for yourself. And the last thing we have on this list is the fact that you believe that the journey is too long. You would rather tell other people they can't do it because you personally did not believe you can make it happen. How many people do we know that's like that? That they quit, that they told you they had the skills to do it, but they just didn't do it because I could have been in the NBA, but I didn't feel like it. That's not true. Do not believe that. There are so many people who quit the journey because it's too long, that it's not happening as fast as they want it to happen, that they are not going where they want to at the speed that they believe they are worth. How many people believe that they are worth being a CEO of a company? How many people say that they want to be a business person, but instead of them trying to learn how to be a business person or trying to learn how to run their own shift or company or startup, they'd rather keep doing what they're already doing, which is not what they say they want to do. There are pretenders, there are fakers, and there are people who just say, you know what? I'd rather not do it. I'd rather quit before trying it. Not knowing that they'll be an amazing business person, not knowing that they'll be an amazing basketball player, not knowing that they'll be an amazing tennis player, but because the journey is more than you prepared for, you thought it was easier to quit and watch someone else do it. If someone else can do it, so can you. What makes that person better than you? Because they look a little different? Because you feel like they have advantages you don't? You don't know that person's life story. You don't know what made them who they are. So I never look at someone else and say, I can't do it. If I believe it in my heart that I love it enough to do it, I go out and get it. Because if you can eat, I can eat just as much or a lot more than you could. People quit from a lack of focus, from fear, listening to others, no patience, not willing to fail, and the journey is too long. Part 2 of this video is coming out soon, but we just had to really get it together. I don't want that to be your story. I don't want you to tell someone how you could have done something, but you would rather not. Or you was too afraid to get started and complete your journey because it's your journey. Stop watching other people on TV and just do it. Don't forget to like the video and share the video. If there was anything you felt that was important to you, let us know in the comment section below. Also, if there's anything you want to see on this channel, let us know as well. We love your opinion and we believe it's very, very important. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. As you can see, we have 2 suggested videos for you guys. One here by YouTube, one here by us. Click on one of the 2. YouTube thinks they know you better than we do, but you know, we know what you're like. We got you. And we'll catch you in the next one. Just step over there with us. We'll see you in a second.